Greetings, Father Campo here with a few updates on this channel of mine and a few words about Advent. So first, some of you have recently subscribed to this channel and have no doubt noticed there are not many updates. I created this channel some years ago personally for some videos I needed to upload for some work I was doing. Then during the pandemic, of course, there was the need for streaming masses and giving informational updates. Now we're not really doing that too much because it's very important that we emphasize that virtual Mass does not equal the Mass, because there is no virtual Eucharist, for example. We will still have some Masses televised in this fashion because I think it's important for posterity for maybe certain high feast days. Also, if you go to the Mater Fatima International English page, I do have weekly reflections there, and at least once a month for First Friday and First Saturday, they are publicized masses there. As far as updates from this channel, they'll be here and there. If you want to see new ideas from me, you just have to subscribe to the channel and you'll get them as they come. I don't make any promises. It's not really my focus, but I do think it's important from time to time to share some thoughts, or I'll put it on here to share it with a particular group, and if you're subscribed, you can benefit from it. Now on to Advent. Advent is fastly approaching, and what I want to say about Advent is, our culture celebrates Christmas, all the way back in October now. You begin to see Christmas things in some stores, even so far back as there. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas has become a parable because we watch The Grinch Stole Christmas every year, and yet we live the consumerism that it is criticizing. And that's to say nothing of our sort of lack of faith in all of this. And the lack of faith is this, that we spend all our time eating and drinking and celebrating before Jesus arrives. Just think about that. The celebration of Christmas is not about us. It's about Jesus. Okay? So the holy season of Advent is our spiritual preparation so that we can receive the coming King. Because when we read in the scriptures, the Jews, who were supposed to have been preparing for many thousands of years, for the most part, were not prepared, and Jesus went unnoticed. Well, what are we doing? Jesus is coming, and he's much unnoticed, in a way. Oh, I gotta go find a mass that I gotta go to on Christmas Eve. I gotta cook. We all have our things. I understand. I'm just simply trying to make the point that we would do well to make an effort to prepare for the coming of the Lord in Advent. And although not required, I think it's laudable to accept some mortifications, penances, abstinences in our preparation for Advent. Not that it's required by the church, but it's fitting. So I'll explain to you one that I've been reading about lately that I think is well, I might use it for Advent, and you may consider to do the same. I've been reading a book here called Digital Minimalism, Choosing a Focused Life in a Noisy World. In essence, the book is about how our devices have taken over our lives. I remember I had the very first iPhone, and I got it, and it was a help to me. Having my calendar with me, having a couple different pieces of information together, and I was very strict with how I used it. Did not take over very much of my life. And for that matter, there were no apps available for the iPhone. Steve Jobs was initially very opposed to that. But very slowly, right? Very slowly, they've given us more and more to the point that how many of us feel like if someone took away your phone, you're in trouble? Probably more of us than we would care to admit. So the book just examines how this has happened and how it sort of hijacked our lives and how it creates unintended consequences, one of them being a lack of solitude. Now, some of us, I'm a priest, I spend time in solitude. I go and retreat. On my retreat, I put these away, but nonetheless, I think there's really something good in the book, considering that we should reconsider our relationship with technology. And I agree with the author that if we do not divorce ourselves, at least for some time, I think he recommends 30 days from using a lot of the new technologies, it becomes very difficult to reassess that relationship. He doesn't, as far as I've gotten in the book, he doesn't say anything about neurochemistry, but there is neurochemistry involved there well, it rewires our brain that we want that quick satisfaction that we get from the glowing screens and the scrolling through Facebook, so that we don't want to do other regular activities. So for me, to prepare for the coming of the Lord, a good way to do that is to reconsider my relationship with technology and some other things in my life, so that I will have room for the King when he comes. And I hope that all of you will find some ways to do that in your own lives. So that's all for now. I hope you are already prepared for Advent, and God bless.